I feel like a moron, because it wasn't until you were coming on here that I realised that you, Matthew Roddick, are Simba in The Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm adult Simba.
Yeah.
Adult Simba.
Which is an amazing thing to be.
Yeah.
You should talk about that more.
I should. That's the people who don't even ask about it, I should just say. Yeah, every now and then a father will come up and say, this is Simba. Say something. And they make me talk, and I talk, and the kid goes, I don't know what that is. Doesn't sound familiar, and I'd never heard of The Lion King.
But the connection is that you, Seth, are in the new Lion King.
I am. I'm Pumbaa in the new Lion King. Yeah. So.
Is it Ernie Sabella?
The live action. I mean, yeah, it's a Disney, the big Disney, yeah, the one.
I mean, they call it live action, but they didn't train a warthog, did they?
No, and nor did I go around on all fours for motion capture or anything. Yeah, I do the voice of the warthog. It looks real. Disney likes to call it live action, and I will never disagree with the Disney Corporation. And therefore, if they want it to be a live-action Lion King, it's a live-action Lion King.
While you're here, we must also mention a big movie event this year, the live-action Lion King, which you are in.
Oh, yeah.
And not just in, you're Scar.
That's true.
Yeah. And now, the word on the street, but I don't know, is that Scar doesn't sing in this, or he does sing in this?
I mean,
You play Scar, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Do you remember singing at any point?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Well, it's like Newsnight, this, isn't it? It's incredible.
Any aspect of this.
Yeah. How do they do live action and you're playing a lion? How is it live action? Like, you're playing a lion.
Is it CGI on top of acting, or is it... It's not just you with a lion wig on?
I don't know.
There was that moment.
It was that?
No, there
and
wasn't.
I had to learn lion.
Series of growls. I think he's hungry. Is that always the same, or do you notice a difference when you come to Britain? Do they ask different questions to the Americans?
Well, they're not as interested in who I boned. The Brits are more interested in who inspired me.
Wait a minute. In America, they ask you who you boned.
Oh, my God. Yeah, don't you know? There's a list floating around. You know,
I'm going to sack researchers. I have not seen this list.
I burned it. But it's, you know, because, you know, tabloids. I come from the time before the cameras were out.
Oh, yeah.
So everything was in the tabloids. So if you went out to lunch with somebody, you were having sex with him. You were about to move in. And so people always say, so what was it like when you, like, were with that guy? I was like, which guy? And they say, one that you married? And I say, you know, I've been married 9 times. I don't know which one you're talking about. So that's what it's about, you know. So.
Famously, you were very close to Princess Diana. But even before that, you, I think you played at Prince Andrew's 21st?
Yes, at Windsor Castle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was a very nervy experience because Ray Cooper, my percussion player, and myself played. And suddenly you looked in the balcony and these are all gold chairs and suddenly they fill up and you think, oh, God. We played and I came down, I changed, and I was in a ballroom with a band and Diana Spencer, she wasn't Prince Charles's wife then. And she said, do you want to dance? So, I can't dance anyway, but we did a faux Charleston. And then we went into dinner and then it was a buffet dinner, and then Princess Anne said, shall we go to the disco? And I said, fine, it's the quietest disco you've ever heard. And I danced with Princess Anne thinking, you know what, I was born in a council house. She said, very surreal. And then the Queen came in, and she said, can we join you? And I said, say, no, off, right? And they segued into Rock Around the Clock by Bill Haley, and I thought, this is ridiculous, because the Queen's going like, dun, 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 dun. And it was one of the most, to that point, surreal moments of my life, because, you know, after being born in a council house in Pinner, and you think, and remembering Rock Around the Clock by Bill Haley, the odds of you dancing with the Queen at Windsor Castle, that were very, very long at that point.
Who's your lookalike?
Zoe Saldana.
And in fairness, here's a picture. I mean, it is, you know, it's... Yeah. Even you can see it.
I know. Yeah. Well, it happens. I mean, people to my face come and talk to me. People who I've known, like, for example, bless her heart, Victoria Beckham, who I've met a few times, OK? And we're in Soul Cycle in LA, and we're talking away, and this close, Jeff, OK? And she's, you know, she made a comment about, oh, it's so great that you're coming to Soul Cycle, even though you're, you know, pregnant. And I said, oh, no, I had the baby, actually, just a few months ago, thinking, oh, God, I obviously look rubbish. And then after a few more minutes of chatting, I realised that she thought I was somebody else. And I said, Vic, do you think that I'm Zoe Saldana? And she was absolutely mortified. Mortified. And, you know, it's all right, because obviously Zoe Saldana is an absolute rare beauty.
Yeah.
And, you know, but up close, come on.
Come on.
Yeah. And I'm English.
Next time.
But you, in the past, have been a bad neighbour, haven't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really bad neighbor.
No,
really
you do
bad.
sound terrible.
Yeah, I used to live with this guy, Martin Starr, who's an actor as well. And we had an apartment, and our neighbor hated us, and we hated him a lot. And he would call security on us all the time because we lived in an apartment. And he had one of those mail slots. I don't know if you have those here that goes like right into your house, like it's in the door, like there's a little slot in the door. Yeah, a letterbox. But sometimes it's separate, but his went right in. And so what we do is we'd go to McDonald's and buy like 20 cheeseburgers, and then we'd put them in his mail slot in the middle of the night, just for no good reason, just knowing that he'd come downstairs the next day and find a pile of cheeseburgers on his inside his house.
That's very kind of you.
Exactly. For me, I would be psyched. If I woke up, I was like,
I'm thinking,
yeah,
I would come downstairs and go,
20
oh
cheeseburgers,
my God.
yeah. It's Christmas. Yeah,
It's mid-Christmas.
yeah, it's mid-Christmas. He didn't feel the same way, unfortunately, yeah, we ended on bad terms, unfortunately.
Yeah? Okay.
I apologize, Futterman, if you're watching this. That was his name.
Have you drawn a line under him? No more Mr. Bean?
You know, I doubt that he will reappear, but you never know. You must never.
The people have spoken.
Yeah, quite. But you know, you must never say never again. A film, as Jeff mentioned, that I was in. So you must never say never. But you know, there does come a point when you feel as though you've done most of what you want to do with him. So.
And because it's not based on language, because it's so physical, Mr. B, presumably it's popular everywhere.
Yeah, it is. It has what we might call a global outreach.
So, like, our holidays are misery. Can you go anywhere?
Yeah, I can't go to many places where you're not recognised. And it's the thing I find most tricky is when people don't recognise you particularly, but half recognise you. You know, it's that strange thing where they go. And of course that means they stare. They stare a lot, and they just look. You're sort of feeling, I wish that person wouldn't stare at me. So, I'd rather just, hold up a flag saying yes, yes, it's me.
Have your children seen Kung Fu Panda?
I went to the first one. I took my godsons, Brooklyn Beckham, and all the Beckham boys, and we went to the Cinerama Dome in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard. And we had a blast. And they were in the back of the car. There's Romeo, Cruz, and Brooklyn. And they said, Uncle Elton? I said, yes. You write songs, don't you? And I went, yeah. He said, sing us one. And I said, what do you do? And so I sang, you wrote The Lion King? Oh, that's great. So sing a Circle of Life then. So it was fantastic. And the film was great. And it was just a great experience. It's such a fun movie.
No, they are brilliant movies.
Yeah.
Is this a kind of a last chance to see? Do we need to hurry and book and see you?
Yes, I'm entering a monastery tomorrow. And I'm going to be... I'm gradually going to wind down because I want to see my boys grow up. Yeah, I mean, what's the point of having children unless you don't spend time with them? So at the moment, I see a lot of them, but I don't see enough of them. So we're getting to the point where in the next few years we'll be winding down and I want to see them grow up. I mean, I've had so many years on the road. I've had so many concerts. And the most important thing in my life now, or our life, are our children. And, you know, I don't want to leave them behind.
Makes sense. And also, you're great that you have that luxury.
Well, it's not as if I'm in mid-career. You know, I'm the Gracie Fields of rock. No, it's just, they are so beautiful. They're so funny, and I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. I would hate to do that. I want to be there for them because it's, by far, you can have any hit record you want, any great tour, any success in the world doesn't compare to 1 second with your kids. Doesn't.
So are you saying, Elton, that you're gearing up for the farewell tour? Is that what's coming here? No, you're gearing down.
I'm gearing down.
But it's not, yeah.
Not yet.
Right.
No. I'm not old enough quite yet.
But when you announce that, then the people, well, the people are flocking to you anyway. But if you said the farewell tour, then everyone.
There will be a time when that will happen. Yeah.
Wow.
Are you teaching the little ones how to tickle the ivories?
I'm not teaching them, but Zachary takes piano lessons. Nothing to do with me. That's my eldest.
Yeah.
It's only because the girl who lives at the house anyway, as well, on the grounds, he loves her, and she takes piano lessons, so he wants to take piano lessons.
Yeah.
So they can do it together. So it's a kind of budding romance thing.
And I think everyone's kind of fascinated by the idea of Elton John being this kind of hands-on dad, and like you do the school run when you're at home.
I do the school run, of course I do. And then on Saturdays, our ritual is we go to Pizza Hut in Windsor for lunch, and then David and I take them to Waterstones and we buy them a book, and they get to choose one little thing they can have as a treat, like a Lego thing. We walk around the town, and we come home, they have an ice cream and a balloon, maybe. Yeah, of course. That's what kids love to do. We go to Lapland, we've been to Legoland, we've been to Disneyland. It's what you do with children. That's the fun thing about it, isn't it? There must be so many parents in. The great thing is just watching them and see their faces. It's like, oh my God. And you know, you don't get really bothered by other people. You go to Legoland and you find that people are so intent at watching their own kids and they're so proud of them. They don't bother me.
Yeah.
No.
And do you dress down for Legoland?
Of course.
Yeah. I didn't know. Going to your wardrobe for Legoland.
Yeah, the